So if we start the demo journey, now I took some of this from my own experience. I called into the contact center earlier this week to gain a perspective of what that experience looks like for your customers, but then also see what current capabilities look like. And so this is actually a very consistent, I guess, use case around order status, but just reimagined with some of the feature and function we have with Service Cloud Voice here. So I'll show you an example of myself as the customer calling in, and you'll see we're going to drive that first part of the interaction with a personalized greeting or message back over to the customer, and using the power of Salesforce and Service Cloud Voice, doing some lookups back to that customer account or contact or person account in Salesforce, perhaps looking at things like the loyalty status. So just different ways we're able to use that data and really enrich the experience for the customer. We saw today you have order status that's automated and drives self-service on the voice channel. So we wanted to show you what that might look like with Service Cloud Voice. Great thing is you have that integration built in place. So it's a matter of simply leveraging that infrastructure that you have and then just bringing that into Service Cloud Voice there. Throughout the interaction, you're going to see natural language. So I don't use touch tone while it is supported with voice. We wanted to show you what are the possible might look like with a voice bot. So the whole interaction is going to be driven with voice. Once we call in and we're able to receive order status, we'll show you perhaps a use case more focused around a frequently asked question. So the use case here is going to be around help with a return refund. You'll see the bot's going to provide a little bit of information, perhaps pulled from a Salesforce knowledge article. And when we need more help, we're going to escalate seamlessly over to an agent and pass that context to them within the Service Cloud console. When we look at the Service Cloud console, we're going to take a look at how we improve some of the agent efficiency in the workflow. So not only talking around native screen pop and native presence within omnichannel to be able to take a voice call, but then once that voice call is accepted, how do we automatically screen pop things like the contact information, previous cases, and then really start to drive towards a more efficient and intelligent workflow using Einstein. So you'll see next best action helping guide the agent through a little bit of a workflow. And then also, again, some of those NeuroFlash assets. We're going to show you things like sentiment analysis, ambient knowledge to automatically search your knowledge base, but just different ways we can not only help the agent guide towards a more personalized service experience, but then also make sure we're driving towards those KPIs of reducing handle time and then making sure we're on the right track for first contact resolution. And we'll wrap up by showing analytics. So I know you mentioned Hexen around being able to address not only historical reporting, an aggregate day over day, week over week, but then also in real time. How can we empower your team across different contact centers or different queues to be able to gain visibility and make real time decisions on how to improve from there? So I'm going to jump right into the demo. So as I mentioned, we're going to start the experience from the customer side. So I'm going to go ahead and call in. If you recall, the two inquiries I'll be inquiring about are order status for a recent order that I placed, and then also the status of a refund or a return.
Hello, Eric. Thank you for contacting Saks Fifth Avenue and being a valued Platinum Saks First member. Are you calling in today to track the recent order containing a pair of jeans and some sneakers?
Yes, that's correct.
Got it. Let me look up the status of this order. It looks like your order is on its way and will be delivered in the next 2 to 3 business days. You can check the status of your order anytime by clicking on the order confirmation email. Would you also like me to subscribe you to text message notifications for all future order status updates?
Yes, that'd be great.
You're all set and have been subscribed to text message alerts. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
When will I get my refund for my last return?
You can track the status of your return in your return confirmation email. Please allow 10 to 14 business days for us to process your return, and up to 1 week after the processing period to receive a refund to your original form of payment. You will receive an email confirmation when your return has been processed. Did this answer your question?
It's been a month since I've returned my order, but I haven't gotten a refund.
Sorry to hear about this. Let's get you in touch with an ambassador who can help with this. Your call is very important to us, and an agent will be with you momentarily.
So just as a quick recap, we heard some of that personalization, and again, everything is being driven off of that Amazon Connect telephony layer. So it gives us capabilities to use a variety of Amazon Web Services. They call them entitlements, but things like Polly to do lifelike text to speech. So that's driving the actual interaction. And then we're using Amazon Lex as the natural language processing engine, same NLP engine that drives and is the vehicle for your Alexa device in your home. And throughout that interaction, we're trying to understand intent, but then you'll see those transactions are all basically quick queries within either Salesforce or maybe an external system like your order management platform to be able to pull that information into the contact flow and then use that dynamically throughout the conversation. And they call those Lambda functions. So again, just snippets of code that are running during this contact flow in conjunction with Lex gives us the capabilities to create that personalization framework there. You also heard a little bit around being able to perhaps subscribe to SMS, right? So this can tie in directly to Salesforce messaging, opt the customer into perhaps order status updates for future orders. We saw, I think, the current capability, you have the ability to actually send customers text messages in real time to do that. So we can absolutely do that. And this is, again, thinking towards future state. We could perhaps subscribe them and then even start to drive more proactive call deflection if we need to. So let's jump into the agent console view and the workflow. So I'm currently on hold, still on that same call. We wanted to demonstrate the experience for your agents now. So you can see here we're in the Service Cloud console day-to-day interface today as your team's working on cases across different channels like chat or web to case, email to case. The great thing is now voice becomes a native presence in Salesforce Omnichannel. So it's not a separate CTI widget, not a separate component where we have to sign in, manage credentials, manage single sign-on. It's all handled on the Salesforce platform where we configure your users and establish which of your ambassadors are going to be on the voice channel here. So you'll see here, just as you might establish presence for chat or emails today, voice becomes part of that unified routing principle. So you'll see here, I'm going to establish my presence on the phone channel. And because, again, I'm the agent with perhaps the right skills and availability to be able to take on this call is routed to me as the agent here. You'll see Omnichannel is modified with awareness towards the voice channel. So you'll see there's some of the basic soft phone call controls that you have here to put the customer on hold, end the call, go on mute if we need to converse with a colleague nearby, add callers or conduct a warm transfer. So anything that you might anticipate from a typical soft phone, Omnichannel has now been modified to simplify that workflow for the team. And then we can take the same call controls and also now, and more importantly, embed them on page layouts to drive workflow. So you'll see here in the top right, same soft phone controls now sitting within the workflow. You heard that theme around digitizing voice. So one of the things we wanted to highlight was when you do accept a voice call as an agent, this works very similarly to how you guys use chat transcripts today or how your team works off of chat. There's a dedicated object for calls called the voice call. Similarly with chat, they call those chat transcripts. And what this gives you is a lot of data and architecture flexibility. We know with traditional CTI, you may have to create a custom object, or you may simply have to, every time a call comes in, you may have to create a case or pop a contact, and you're now annotating on custom fields. And the voice call object gives you more flexibility and versatility to decide, once this call gets routed, do we create a case? Do we associate it with an existing case? How do we look up a contact? How do we drive towards that workflow and automation on that side, right? But you'll see the interaction type is represented with this voice call record that you see in the middle here. And there's all different types of standard fields. Certainly the most important ones are around the caller number. So we can use that caller number or that Annie to automatically screen pop contact information around who this customer is. And we have options as well to customize or add custom fields to the voice call record with any additional information. As an example, with some of our customers, we will actually pull in IVR prompts or selections from the customer that not only help to drive the routing principle, but then also give visibility back to the agent on what this inquiry looks like here. There may be opportunities to help. We see this in a variety of use cases, but using next best action, there might be opportunities to help guide the agents towards resolving specific types of cases. You can use next best action for all different sorts of inquiries. So some of our customers will use it for cross-sell, upsell. So while we're helping a customer around tracking the status of an order, we might find they're eligible for maybe a promotion or an offer, and we can use next best action to automate the lookup of that eligibility, but then also cross that back to see what's available and provide the agent quickly and easily what they can see there. In this case, we're going to show it to perhaps help that agent process a claim for a missing refund. And then you'll see when we select and go about working through this next best action, this is actually providing a recommendation through a Salesforce flow. And you'll see we combine a few different principles here. Your flows can really walk your agents through any process, but in this case, it's more focused on providing a level of call scripting back to your agents. So you'll see here the top section, we can start to coach the agent on exactly how they need to greet the customer, walk through exactly to confirm what the inquiry looks like or the issue type. Again, this could be based on an IVR prompt or selection, and then walk through the process of collecting more information to see how we can process a claim in this case here. And you'll see here, these flows can tie back to existing processes or workflows that you have in Salesforce or even other integrations. So when the agent asks, can you tell me which return you didn't get a refund for? Well, again, we can start to cross back, integrate to your order management platform and see perhaps which order the customer might be inquiring about a return refund for. And the flows are dynamic. So as we're progressing in real time on this call, you'll see based on our responses, the flows will dynamically surface more next steps or next actions for the agent to follow. And you'll see here, we can again automate the process of maybe submitting a claim. This is more of an abbreviated version, but just based on that conversation, based on the selections, we can go ahead, execute the processing of that, keep the agent workflow very consistent and simple by just working through the call scripts and collecting a little bit of information. And as I mentioned, there's always opportunities during these conversations to cross-sell, upsell. So maybe there's a promotion on Saks points that they're offering. So just great ways to not only expedite the conversation, reduce handle time, making sure we put the agent in a good position for first contact resolution, but then find opportunities to cross-sell, upsell while we have that high-value customer on the call there. So around the conversation of how Einstein helps to drive this conversation here, we wanted to show you some of those NeuroFlash Essentials package features. One of them is around what we call Sentiment Advisor. So I'm going to go off mute as the customer and just say a phrase like, I'm really frustrated, I haven't received my return yet. So you'll see here, it's going to transcribe from the customer's perspective. And then in real time, we're actually going to be able to detect the sentiment of these phrases or comments or questions from the customer. And this is, again, running across Amazon Comprehend just to run basic sentiment analysis to understand positive, negative, or neutral. Now, in real time, it helps the agent just understand the temperament of the customer. We often see a lot of our customers will use this as a point of gamification to see if a customer starts a conversation particularly negatively, does the agent do an effective job at providing great service and seeing if that sentiment improves throughout the conversation. So again, it helps the agents in real time just to see what that might look like and give a visual cue. We will show as well historical reporting. We can build in sentiment into a dashboard, and you can see, and you can basically filter your calls by your sentiment across your conversations, and that gives you some indication as well where those focus areas need to lie. Maybe it's a new product launch, maybe it's a team of agents that's relatively new. But you'll see here there's a wide variety of capabilities that we can run in real time to be able to assist the agents here. There's sentiment that runs in real time, and then because you're already using Salesforce Knowledge today, we can also in real time run a transcript from the customer side and automatically search knowledge. So it helps to, again, expedite perhaps the agent process of having to interpret or understand what the customer is asking and then search knowledge to find the right article. So let me show you what that looks like here. So if I say, can you tell me what the loyalty tiers are? So again, that's from the customer side, just a quick phrase asking a question around loyalty tiers. And you'll see that can automatically search knowledge and then surface perhaps articles that are relevant here. So different ways we could integrate that into the workflow. But again, it's another kind of nice feature to have just to reduce some of those seconds for the agents to be able to search for the relevant knowledge article there. Around the theme of real time, right? So I'll show you some additional features and functions of the NerdFlash Essentials package. So real-time analytics are addressed in two different ways. So Salesforce has the standard out-of-the-box Omni Supervisor feature that you may be familiar with or maybe using today on existing channels. And then within the NerdFlash Essentials package, we have a feature called our Contact Center Wallboard. So as I mentioned, this is in real time updating based on current metrics, in this case, across a specific queue. But you'll see this is actually pulling in real time from your Amazon Connect instance metrics like the number of calls in queue, what is the current wait time, active calls, current handle time, abandoned times. So really, and the great thing is this is customizable based on calculations or metrics you have in Connect. So this typically gets our customers 70% of the way there, and then maybe the last 30% is some customizations or additional reporting that we build in. But as a supervisor, or even we see in some customers, they'll provide this back to their agents, but it gives them, again, quick visual indication in real time of how this specific queue is performing. And then you can see we can even color code some of the metrics based on maybe a service level agreement or a threshold. So if our handle time is far exceeding what our standard is, you can see we can color code certain areas of these wallboards and present this information quickly and easily back to the team so they can make a decision on how to take action on that. Now, we typically will see, again, the wallboard concept work in conjunction with Omni Supervisor. So again, this will give you a view by each queue or even a roll of all queues there. And then if we need to make actions or transactions based on what we're seeing there, we certainly know we have the native feature within Salesforce Omnichannel to go ahead and perhaps make a quick change or go ahead and maybe do things like update the presence of that agent. What I'll show you here is also the ability to basically whisper in, the ability to monitor the conversation. So you can see here, we can also bring in that real-time voice to text transcription that the agents have and bring it to a supervisor level. They can monitor multiple of these conversations at once. But again, it gives them a great capability to basically take that voice channel, digitize it, give the team something that's simple and easy to summarize or go through as well.